In today's episode of Road to Grandmaster, I show you guys one of my favourite heroes, Lunara, and talk about why she's become one of the most popular heroes in the meta, kind of out of the blue, over the last couple of weeks. Hey guys, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to the 2017 Season 1 Road to Grandmaster. We're currently in Diamond 1. We're going to be last pick here on Dragonshire. And yeah, this is not the first game from Diamond 1. The last one I put up on YouTube was the promotion game up. We had a couple of games in the meantime. Did not go well at all. It was just very much defined by, and it's one of the things I'll be talking about a bit in this video. They're very much defined by people like trolling. Just like having a few players that are just so much weaker than the standard overall that it kind of defines the game. It's like who's got the weaker player that screws up more, who feeds more, which is kind of a sad way to put it, but it's just the reality of the start of the season, unfortunately. Now, that being said, in this particular game, we have a lot of very good players. Undead, a great solid player. I think he plays a lot of Falstad from what I've seen. Dark Grey Legend, I think he's like a support main, he's pretty good. Yellow Flash, of course, is fantastic. I don't actually know Lucky Luke. On the enemy team, like Stanpert is great. Tix, very good player as well. And yeah, then we've got Voodoo, who's a one-trick pony. Stitches, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know the other players in the game. But yeah, enemy team bans out Tastar first. We ban out Arthas. I think two good, solid bans. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. The Arthas ban definitely does open up that grey main that someone was hovering as a fairly legitimate early pickup here. The enemy team does grab Nazebo. I think that's a fine first choice as well. Someone was asking on one of my previous videos, like, hey, is it okay if I first pick Nazebo all the time? Honestly, yeah, pretty much. He's really good on most maps. He's a really good hero overall at the moment. It's hard to go too far wrong with the Nazebo. Now we go for Falstad, and then a very unusual and early Lieutenant Morales pick. I'm not super sure what prompted that. I suppose she's pretty good against the Zeebs. You know, it's like the amount of early game healing she does, it's like Nazebo is basically just irrelevant until he hits late game, and even then she should be fairly solid against the sort of single target damage that he can put out. So I assume Nazebo will sort of outstrip her once he hits level 20. But yeah, an interesting choice. I'd say actually a bad choice at the start. Like when there's still 4 heroes left for the enemy team to pick. That's kind of scary. They do go for Stitches and for Suljin. Two other very interesting picks. So Stitches, well, that dude always plays Stitches. And I think it's a fine choice against Morales as well. The Suljin pick, I don't know about that one. I don't think that's a very good one at all. The Suljin, I feel like, is very situational. He's very dependent on your team compositions. He's just not going to bring as much wave clear as other ranged heroes would. He's much more reliant on his support than other ranged heroes would be. I think Suljin actually combos really well with Lieutenant Morales. But yeah, they don't go for that. We grab Artanis and Diablo, so Artanis is going to be our solo laner. That's okay-ish. And we're going to get Diablo too. So I think the Artanis idea was, you know, like the swaps could be kind of useful against the Stitches Gorge. Fancy plays there. And then the Suppression Pulse should be good against Suljin. I think it's a decent pick. I assume he probably... I think he does okay against Ragnaros. And yeah, this is where the draft goes kind of crazy. They don't get a support. Instead, they get trolled, and one of their teammates picks a Nova. We'll talk more about that when we get to the actual game. But for me here, I was kind of left with the decision of, okay, they've got a fuck ton of damage and kill pressure. I need to pick something that can punish this team. We need more damage in our team. Our team's got almost no damage. So I need something that does damage that will like punish their team. And that, yeah, won't like die all the time. So I was considering between Lunara and Medivh in this particular game. I went for Lunara in the end. So Medivh obviously brings Force of Will, which is fantastic. He brings portals for like chasing and diving. Their backline, like all their heroes are very immobile, very vulnerable to being like chased and dived upon. So I was considering going for Medivh for that. And like the Force of Will would be very useful. We could reveal like scout out heroes, very useful too. I went for Lunara instead, who brings tons of damage, and they don't have a healer that can deal with it. Actually, we need to skip to the game. I'll see you guys when we get to the game. New structure. God, keep forgetting. All right, guys, here we are in the game. Sorry, I new structure, right? I totally forgot to do the thing where I forgot to tell you guys about the timestamps and all that. You can skip the draft. Oops, my bad. And then I was just blabbing away during the loading screen. Yeah, I was just, I got so involved in this draft and talking you guys through it that I forgot. Oops. But anyway, yeah, look, my choice basically in the draft was going, okay, well, we need another damage dealer. The enemy team's got like a lot of damage and kill pressure. Now, they don't have a lot of wave clear. So that was kind of like, I was looking at the Medivh. They're also very immobile. Like all their heroes are very vulnerable to being dived and stuff. So I was considering Medivh. Right, Medivh can block a lot of the burst damage, makes our team a lot tankier, and enables dives with his portals and stuff. I thought that would be pretty good. I decided to go for Lunara instead, just for more straight up damage, and she does a lot of damage. Spread that around the enemy team. They've got no way of healing it up, so that's going to take a big toll on them during the team fight. Then also compared to Medivh, she brings much better like wave clear and stuff like that. We can grab greater spell shield as well, level 13, so that should keep us alive from like a Nova plus Sulfurous Smash type combo, or Guillotine as well, because as we saw, the Zul Jin is going for a W plus Guillotine build. But yeah. I'll come back and talk a bit more about Lunara as well as we move kind of later into the game and things heat up. At the start, like, she's not super involved, I would say. She's definitely a hero that scales very well. Early game, she's alright, right? She's okay, but she's not doing anything spectacular. For the most part, we're just going to be hopping around, just spreading our poison as much as we can. You know, if we hit heroes, we'll use our W to apply slow and add another stack of poison onto them. Try hit heroes with our Q when we can. If we can't hit them with the Q, alright, we'll just use the Q for a bit of extra wave clear, especially on a map like Dragonshire, where wave clear is important. Like, for example, right there, we got a really good Q where we hit Stitches and the minion wave and the tower. That was really nice. Now, in return, we took a whole bunch of damage. We went a bit too far forwards, got hooked, and took a bunch of damage. Now, we've got Morales. Still not the end of the world, right? We can actually take some pretty nasty trades in this game, because, well, we're going to walk away with HP and the enemy team will not, so we're not going to be in too bad of a spot. That's a nice little charge by Diablo to get out of that situation here. But yeah, I want to talk a bit about the idea of like kind of trolling your teammates or griefing your teammates. This came up in one of the other videos I did recently. We had a Li Ming picking orb build, and there's this big discussion in the comments because, like I said, it's like basically griefing your team if you pick those builds in that game. On top of there was other things that she was doing in the game as well, but a lot of people in the comments reacting very, very negatively to that, saying like that's not griefing, it's like a slightly suboptimal talent, but it's not a big deal, and so on and so forth. I think in this game, obviously, giving up the support and picking Nova instead, I assume, like, I'm just gonna guess people are gonna be just straight up like, that's a terrible thing to do, like, what a dickhead, you're griefing your team, because, hey, that's a type of griefing that you find at every level of Hero League, and it is griefing. Basically, it's like, in the draft and in your gameplay and your talent builds and everything like that, you want to be, and it's Hero League, you do want to be tryharding. Like, someone was using tryhard as an insult in the comments, basically, to my attitude, but, like, that is the attitude that you should have. It's Hero League. It is for tryharding, that's what it's for. You want to be choosing the things that give your team the best chance of winning as possible. I think it's pretty well known at this stage, right, that having a support hero is like one of the biggest things you can do to increase your win rate. It's like they had to change the quick match rules basically because, hey, teams with supports are winning like 54% of their games versus like 46% of teams that didn't have a support. It's a totally unfair matchup. That's just the way it is. And yeah, it's just like if you don't take a support hero, you're putting your team at a massive disadvantage. And yeah, it's basically trolling your team. They're picking their heroes and everything, and they're going to be playing the game in the assumption that you will play a support hero. Can you still win? Yes. Do you make your chances at winning much lower? Yes, you do. And that's what the game is about. Like, you can win with anything, right? In this game, you can. It's not about whether you can win, because everything can win. Like, you could have a team of 5 support heroes, like no damage at all, no wave clear at all. You could still win, maybe, but like, it's about your win chance and whether you're giving yourself the best chance of winning. Like, that's such a crucial thing that people, I think, overlook. It's not like, oh, it can work. Is it the best thing that you can choose, or is it like one of the better things that you can do in this situation? But yeah, as well, like, going back to the idea then of like talent builds and stuff like that too, worth mentioning here. I mean, it's just been the problem, right? That I noticed like at the start of the season is because of the MMR squish. You got broader ranges of players coming in, and honestly, like, I left out the couple of games before this one. We actually lost the first 2 games in Diamond 1. They're pretty brutal. It's just people trolling, honestly, and like in this game as well. It's like, this game is very much going to be defined by Nova, right? It literally is that simple. It's like, regardless of what everyone else is doing, this one player picked Nova instead of picking a support, and that more than anything else is going to define the game. That more than anything else gives our team a huge advantage and the enemy team a huge disadvantage. We've seen other examples, smaller examples in some of the videos I put up so far. I think one really good example, well, like a decent example was the Li Ming. That was the discussion point in a couple of videos ago, where she went for orb build, and just orb build is just terrible, and it's well known that it's terrible. Like, some people were saying, oh, well, he might not have known. It's like, well, then there's a problem, because like, you're playing, as you can see, like, a lot of these players, some of these players are pro players. Some of these, like, a lot of the players we'll be playing with are in the open division. A lot of them are like amateurs, but still grandmasters nonetheless. It's like, you can't like not know the talent builds for them, like one of the most popular heroes in the game. So, helping hand. Nasiba wouldn't have escaped if it wasn't for that helping hand. It's like, you can't not know that, you know. That's just the reality, and that's what I'm going to tell you guys. I always get like comments and stuff, people saying you're giving up at your team. It's like, well, I try to be fair. I'll point out the mistakes, point out the good plays. That's just the way it is. But yeah, another great example as well was the Artanis we had. I think it's placement game number 3. We went reactive parry against Tracer Tassadar instead of amateur opponent on Garden of Terror. And it's like, I was giving out a lot about him in that game. And he played pretty badly. So I think most people are like, yeah, he was pretty bad. But like, seriously, I can't overstate how much of an impact that makes, particularly at the highest levels. And that's what I want to teach you guys. I want to teach you guys to play the best, do the best you can. And that was a nice move, actually. I didn't even know Diablo could do that. Again, charge to the wall, it looked like. I think that's what he did. It looked like it to me. He charged to the wall to escape. I did not know that was possible. I didn't even know you could queue structures. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I just thought it was interesting in the last video because people it wasn't the last one, but I recorded it yesterday. People reacted so negatively, but like, it really is that important. It's like, you choosing a super suboptimal pick or talents literally does, like, at this level of play, if you want to be pushing and you want to be trying your best and doing the best in Hero League, choosing bad talents, bad heroes, literally puts you at like it makes noticeable changes to your team's win rates, your team's win percentage for the games. Anyway, it's funny enough, actually, because I'm sure most people agree with Nova in this case. She's actually not the worst hero they could have picked. Funnily enough, I think it's actually like, out of all the heroes they could pick, if you're going for like a you can see I'm kind of juking here. I think we managed to juke Nova's snipe, but right there is in a lot of trouble. So that was actually important to note. I was hopping around, like I stopped attacking. I was just like hopping around this Lunara, just trying to dodge the skill shots. I think it worked. I think that's how we lived. Not 100% sure right there. So I was kind of thinking about what I was talking about. But yeah, it's like in that sort of situation, I was like, hop as much as you can to dodge the skill shots. One thing about Lunara, she's kind of hard to hit with skill shots because her movement is so erratic. And right here, we're going to Hearthstone out. This fort's going to die from the minion wave. And, well, Artanis is going to help finish it off. But we're going to Hearthstone for mana and HP and be fine. Yeah, it's just, yeah. But like in terms of like the talents and stuff like that, it's just the way it is. And it's one of the things I've really noticed. I'll talk about it more in like, I think I've got a Malfurion video coming up maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'll talk about this more then. But like in that video, it's like, we're normally playing with like Grandmaster standard players. We're playing with like very much like Master standard players. And like there's definitely like this big gap. I've really noticed it in terms of skills, but also in terms of talents and stuff like that. Really, really big gaps, so I'll talk about it more then. But anyway, that's enough for now. Let's talk more about Lunara. which is probably what you're here for. Lunara is such a great hero. I think Lunara is fantastic. I've loved Lunara for a long time, but interesting enough, she's really come back into the meta in the last like few days, kind of somewhat out of the blue. I think it was the Eastern Clash that did it. Like the Korean teams just started busting out Lunara, and the world kind of took notice and started playing her as well. But yeah, it is kind of funny. Nova goes really far forward to do some damage to us, and she's going to pay a pretty big price. Indeed, she does go down. We're going to do some damage to Stitches as well. What does Lunara do, though? Like, why is she good? Like, what's her strengths? Why would you ever pick this hero? I think for me, I look at Lunara very much in a similar sort of light as Nazeebo or Gul'dan. Which is that she scales really well, kind of like Nazeebo, and she's very much focused, much like those heroes. They all have like damage over time effects, right? That actually do a lot of damage. Nazeebo's poisons, and then just the way Nazeebo works in general. Gul'dan with his corruption, and then just the slow, steady damage he does with Q. And Lunara at the slow, steady damage she does with her Nature's Toxin, her poison on her basic attack and abilities. They're all like these very slow, sustained damage dealers. That's like their strength. That's what they do. That's a really nice move. This Diablo's playing fantastic. I mean, he's got a fairly... the B-steps. Whoops. Oh, B-steps gets hooked back in. Moment of panic. He escapes and then continues to B-step once again. But he's playing this real well. Now, he's got a somewhat easy time of it because he's going up against Solo Warrior, Stitches, no support. But, you know, still, he's playing really well, even despite that. Lunara, she does tons of damage. Like, her damage output is absolutely insane. She really, like, shreds through heroes. Now, the one thing she doesn't have, right, is her single target damage. It's pretty garbage. You probably noticed that in this game. It's like, we have some with our heroics. Her heroics really do boost up your single target damage potential. But for the most part, it's all really about your AoE damage. Spreading poison to multiple heroes and just... like stacking up loads of damage by hitting loads of heroes at the same time. So for example, right here we're doing like loads of damage to a couple of these guys, and Nova actually gets picked off by Falstad coming out of the Dragon Knight, which is awesome. But yeah, she also scales really hard, like really hard. She starts off as a fairly mediocre hero, then she gets way more damage, like level 7 in particular. She gets way more damage. Her heroics are really nice. And then she gets way more range then just later on too. So all that stuff adds up. To cover the talent build I go for, which is kind of my standard enough Lunara build. You probably noticed, I picked the wrong level 13 talent in this game. But yeah, level 1 Natural Perspective. Our Nature's Toxin will reveal heroes for its duration. It's just a nice little thing to grab as a bonus. You can see people kind of retreating away. You can see them when they pop into brushes. In this case, it's going to be useful against Nova and her clones. It will show which clone is a clone. And it will stop Nova from going into stealth. Or show her when she's in stealth, I think. So, yeah, I think she can still stealth with the poison on. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I don't play Nova, so I don't know. I haven't played her in months. Ooh. That's a pretty good guillotine. Gets the kill. Level 4 Nimble Wisp, increasing the Wisp movement speed, doubling it, and then increasing the radius by 50%. Really nice for just like scouting a bit more dynamically. Then level 7 is where things get real interesting. In this game I went for Nature's Culling, which increases the damage of your poison against non-heroes by 150%. This includes minions, monsters, mercenaries, structures as well. And you just output immense amounts of siege damage with this talent. Like it will probably double your siege damage over the course of a game. It's pretty nuts. It's really strong. This is always a good choice. It's always a really good choice. In this case, again, looking at their team, like Nova doesn't have a lot of wave clear, Jin doesn't either, Stitches is okay, Ragnaros is great, and Nazeebo's okay, but like they don't have a ton. And I kind of figured, you know what, like we'll be able to drive these guys back as well. It's not simply just being able to out wave clear and out push them, which is a valuable thing on Dragonshire. But they're also gonna, like, if we do damage to them, they have to just Hearthstone and go back, because they don't have a healer, so they just get stuck. But we can exploit that, like, loads, right? Actually, needs a Q to finish him off. We can exploit that loads. Because basically, if we pressure someone out of lane, awesome, they've got a Hearthstone, then we can use that time to simply push down structures as Lunara. and using that siege damage. So that's why I went for it in this game. The other sort of standard and really good choice is Splintered Spear, which is when you use your Q, it makes your next basic attacks. It's actually my fault that Morales got hooked there because I was being greedy, clearing out a wave. So it's really our fault that she just died. Whoops. But she take the blame for it. Mwahahaha. No, but seriously, that wasn't. She was trying to back me up because of the way I went, so it's my fault. Oh well. We're gonna die here to Nova as well. This is good. I'll jump ahead to level 13. I'll go back to level 7 and Splintered Spear real quick in the heroics. I meant to pick Greater Spell Shield in this game, which is you can turn it on or off. 30-second cooldown when it activates, and it gives you 75 spell armor for 3 seconds whenever you get hit by an ability. I had intended to pick that to basically protect me against precisely that event. Nova flanks and then just tries to blow me up, or you get caught by Nazebo, or a Stitch's hook, or Ragnaros, Sulfura Smash or something, or the guillotine combo from Zul'jin. Basically, I meant to take Greater Spell Shield to just basically be invincible. I forgot. I took Unfair Advantage at 13 by accident, which makes your poison do 50% more damage to slowed heroes. Sorry, not targets, just heroes. Slowed heroes. Great talent at level 13. Bear in mind your W slows everyone that's afflicted by your poison for 3 seconds. So you get 3 seconds of Unfair Advantage procs, 50% bonus damage on all your poison when you hit heroes with that. Opens up the combo as well. Splintered Spear at level 7. Use your Q. Your next basic attack hits 4 enemy heroes. So with Splintered Spear, which I don't have in this game, but just so you know, because it's probably the more common one overall. But basically, the combo with that is like you Q, you throw a basic attack, you hit 4 enemy heroes with that. So most of the enemy team with basic attack, they all have 1 stack of poison. You press your W, which adds another stack of poison, another 3 seconds of poison onto them, slows them all down by 40%. Then once you get Unfair Advantage at 13, boom, they're all taking 50% more damage from your poison, and it just adds up to so much freaking damage. And that's really what Lunara is about. But yeah, this was like 2 or 3 days into the season, and Timeless already had like 3,000 master points. It's insane. It's really insane. Anyway, level 10, Thornwood Vine. I always take this heroic. I think there is something to be said for Leaping Strike, but honestly, I've never used it. I need to do a bit more research before I figure out exactly what the scenarios for using that, what they would be. I don't really know right now. I'm not super sure as to when you would take it. You're going to be just fine taking Thornwood Vine most of the time. It's a really, really good heroic. It adds like single target burst and focus fire. You can see it can just like shred through a minion wave with Nature's Culling as well. Just one leap, Thornwood Vine through that minion wave and it's gone. It can be really nice if you want to clear out a wave quickly. You don't normally want to do that unless you're like in something of a rush. But right here, for example, you want to clear this stuff out quickly and get it pushing in because the shrines are activating. So there we go. We're going to use like one ore to clear out the first wave, and then the second wave melts as well. Kind of nice. So it's a nice flexible heroic. It's got really nice range, so it lets you do good range from pretty far away. You can see there, Falstad predicted his death about like 10, 20 seconds before it happened. Like he just knew. He's like, guys, prepare for a ping. I'm going to die. But hey, we're going to get us the Dragon Knight, so it's worth it. You probably recognize this from the intro to the Road to Grandmaster series now. That was really dumb. Basically, I knew I was being greedy. I thought I could dodge the hook and I screwed it up. We're going to activate our level 20 and look how fast we're moving. Wah! We're jumping so far, team. We're jumping so far. Diablo arrives. Morales escapes. And Ragnaros goes down. And we're even going to escape. Relatively unscathed. So I'm saying all planned. Yeah, I thought you guys might enjoy the second half. Hey, we were baiting them away so the Dragon Knight could take a second keep for free. That's what we were doing. But yeah, I thought you guys might enjoy seeing the second half of that, recognizing it probably from the intro bit there. But yeah, basically, I mean, Galloping Gait at level 20, to mention that. You can activate, it gives you a mount ability. Normally your mount ability is that like you do these hops, and then overall, like you add it all up, you have, how much is it? Like 20% more move speed than the average hero with the little hops. You can activate Galloping Gait for 6 seconds, then you get 80% bonus move speed, so you're moving up like insanely fast. I think like the fastest hero in the game. Like it's insanely fast, basically. So yeah, I mean, there's really no excuse for being hit by Stitch's hook. We could have used Galloping Gait to dodge it. We should really have just sidestepped it anyway. So yeah, that was pretty dumb for me. He's just saying oops. We popped the Galloping Gate though, and then we were able to escape. Ragnaros slightly missed his Sulfura Smash against us in that top fight because of Galloping Gate, I think. And yeah, then a nice rotation from our teams did save us, and we even got a kill out of it. So yeah, all planned, no problem. Level 16 then, Starwood Spear. Pretty much every game, when you use your W, gives you 2.75 additional range. You can see, when I activate it, you'll see like a new circle showing what our range is. So watch the next time I press W, and you'll see like what our new range becomes. It's pretty useful. Okay, never mind, sorry, the game ended. You can rewind it and see. Whoops. But yeah, it's a great talent. It just lets you get way more basic attacks out. Particularly because this is what I think the key thing at Lunara is you're looking into spreading poison, not just basic attacking. It's not about the basic attacks in of themselves. It's about using basic attacks to apply poison. And stacking, like, if they've already got 3 stacks of poison on them, you can see the little leaves underneath them. It's kind of overkill to throw out more. You want to be spreading that around as much as possible, and that's what Thornwood Vines at 10 and Starwood Spear let you do, spread that out to multiple people. See, we did plenty of damage. Our siege damage in particular is huge. And yeah, there you go. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that Lunara video. I mean, it was kind of one-sided because of the Nova troll pick, which really defined the game. But hopefully you still saw a few things you could do on Lunara and learned a few things there. Talent build should be on the left, and coming up on the right should be buttons you can hit to subscribe, support me on Patreon, and also check out another video that you might enjoy. So yeah, Natural Perspective at 1, Nimble Wisp at 4, Nature's Culling at 7 in this game, Thornwood Vine at 10, Unfair Advantage at 13. Again, I really meant to pick Greater Spell Shield, and I picked Unfair Advantage completely by reflex and promptly realized it and freaked out. It was kind of dumb. Starwood Spear at 16, and then Galloping Gate at level 20. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Bye-bye.